Greetings, VCAL students. I want to talk about our next project. Before I get on to that, though, I want to talk about what we've been doing so far. So we still have to finish off the house leader thing. One group, one individual has produced the PowerPoint that I can see. Others still need to produce it, rehearse it, then do a presentation without the PowerPoint, so that when late May, when the house meetings are on, you'll be able to do a job that is worthwhile. Now, remember, this is a subject called personal development. So if you feel a little bit anxious or nervous about doing a presentation, remember, you're doing it in a group. You'll only have a small bit to do. But if you've practiced, you'll gain your confidence. And then you'll feel like you've actually achieved something. If all you do is things you don't feel comfortable with or confident in, and you just ignore them and don't do them, then you're not going to develop as a person and you're not going to develop your confidence. So this is a great opportunity. There's another one coming up, which is the Young Driver Awareness Scheme. I'm going to go through some material in class on that as well. And we're going to do a short 5-minute online pre-test to see what you know about driver awareness. And then after we've had our day, the 11th of May at Broadmeadows, there'll be another follow-up one. And 3 months after that, which will probably be starting to be the end of term 3, you'll get a third one. And this is for the people who run it, to find out what you knew or what you didn't know, what you've learned and what you've retained. So that should be a good opportunity too, and you'll get some credit for that. And there's stuff we'll do in class to do with that as well. Now, I don't want to just get stuck on the leadership thing. So we're going to have different lessons. We're doing different things. Now, this is the new one I want to introduce, which is the, I want to make myself bigger, which is the war-themed project that we were supposed to do last year, but we did it in a not very satisfactory remote method. Hopefully we can do it physically. So I got some books I just pulled off my shelf. Oh, there we go. It's reversed, is it? It says Gallipoli. Oh, it's reversed again. Fighting Techniques of the SAS. Where is that heading? That says Kokoda. I wonder whether I can change my camera to do exactly what I see. And there is Victory, the epic to World War II. Now, I've started the... now, I'll go back again to the house leader one. First of all, I asked you to do some research and not much happened. So then I had to scaffold it. I had to build a structure for you by giving you specific questions that you should answer in order to build a presentation. Now, I hope we don't have to do that for this one as well. In class, we'll watch this. This is a couple of little minute musical thing that I found inspiring. We'll see how that goes. Here's your learning outcomes. And this one probably links into all of these. This project should cover all of them in some way or other. Now, I've grabbed that phrase from each of them. Complex self-directed project. So I should be able to give you a task and give you the outline and see how you come up with it. I hope I still got that open. I just had this quote here from General George Patton, who said, "Never tell people how to do things. Tell them what you want to do, and they will surprise you with their ingenuity. Delegation involves putting others in charge, but being willing to take ultimate responsibility." We have a thing in the Army like that, seeing it's a war-themed approach. It's called mission command. It's an American term. Mission command is the superior officer tells his subordinates, what I want. These are the resources you can have. This is the timeline I'm giving you. Come up with a plan. All right, I'm going to do much the same thing here. I've given you a general outline of what needs to be done, and I'm hoping that you can come out with stuff yourself, seeing it's a complex self-directed project. So let's make it a little bit bigger for me, if not for you guys. You can read the outcomes yourself. So my timeline is the term 2, the first half. Except we've got a few things happening in that, so that might blow out. You need to divide into 4 groups. Why 4 groups? Because there's 4 venues we're going to look at. 4. Okay. These groups should not be based on friendship groups, but randomly, as would happen in a workplace where you don't get to choose who you work with. That'd show something of leadership skills and teamwork, to work with people you may not be friends with. You may not even like working with them, but you might find out some good things about people by working with them. So I hope this is not going to be our first stumbling block. Okay. And then each group will select, I need to fix that, 1, not on venue, 1 venue to investigate for the whole class to attend. I anticipate that it will end up being necessary to have 1.5 to 2 days to cover this. So when we get to actually executing this project, like going somewhere, it's probably going to take more than 1 day. We won't be able to get to 4 venues in 1 day. Anyway, when you're planning the activity should fall on a Tuesday on the week when we have 2 PD sessions on one Tuesday. So it'll be a day when we have period 1 and or is it period 2 and period 5. That Tuesday will cause less disruption to the other teachers if we go out on a date. And you won't be able to have the 11th of May because 11th of May we're going to Broadmeadows to do the young driver training. All right, you need to plan, organise and conduct an excursion to each of these venues. I believe 3 of them were free. 1 of them costs money, but last year it was going to be free, except we didn't get to go there. So we're going to look at the Islamic Museum in, I think it's called Preston, Thornbury, not far from school. The Shrine of Remembrance in the city. The Holocaust Museum, which is going out beyond the Shrine of Remembrance, a couple more suburbs, probably down in St Kilda somewhere or the next suburb after that. Available public transport. And the Immigration Museum, which is also in the city. Okay. Then, so you've got a plan for us to go. Excursion forms, notifications, what we're going to be doing there, etc. Okay. To continue the project after we've had the visit. After your visit, create a task that the junior students could do at that venue. Okay, so if the junior students went, what would you have them do? You can come up with a checklist of things they could do. It could be a question sheet. It could be facts to find or a fact task or other options that you can think of. So you're going to create an activity sheet for students to do at the venue. And then in your group, brainstorm and come up with a reason for the title of this project and suggest a link to each of the venues. All right, I'll give you a bit of a clue. A war-themed approach. last year we were hoping to coordinate this with Anzac Day, but Anzac Day this year and last year it was a Saturday, this year it's Sunday, so there's no public holiday and there's no celebration of it at school necessarily. All right, war-themed approach. Obviously, the Shrine of Remembrance has a war-themed approach. It's a monument to remember people who made sacrifices in war. The Islamic Museum. The Anzac tradition was Australians and New Zealanders fighting people from Turkey. Turkey is a secular state, but it's 96.7% Islamic. You'll find that the Anzac forces and the Turkish forces built up quite a lot of respect for each other. And now, why do a lot of Islamic people come from overseas to Australia? Because their home countries are torn apart by war, mainly civil war and trouble. So there's a link there too, but you've got to come up with something, express it well. The Holocaust Museum. Again, what happened in Europe? The Nazis did something to a number of races, but particularly to the Jewish race. And this is a museum that helps remember what happened so that people don't forget. We have on Lest We Forget as a sign, a slogan that the sacrifice people made shouldn't be forgotten, and it could apply here as well. And the Immigration Museum, again, many of the Greek and Italians and other races that have come to make Australia home came here after the Second World War. And it was due to the war that they came to Australia. So that's part 5. And let's hope you can form into groups and come up with a complex self-directed project. Pay attention to what we're working on in any particular lesson so that we can actually get our leadership thing done and present it well. We can go to the young driver awareness thing and get that done well, and this can be done well. And we can negotiate times, but it's the planning and execution of a complex self-directed project. I can add more help as groups ask for it, but see what you can do yourselves. All right, I think I've talked for long enough. That is me done. Stop sharing and end, and then I'll put the video on YouTube. Bye for now.